You've had this happen, right? Players get to a new location and the first thing they want to do is strike up a conversation with some completely inconsequential NPC. A random townsguard, a lowly sheep farmer, some street beggar. A character who has absolutely no backstory and no obvious impact on the campaign. But denying your players the opportunity to interact with somebody who is living in the world that you've created for them is a quick way to destroy their role-playing experience. Not to mention overlooking the opportunity to give them key information that's going to get them onto the next page of the adventure. Information that could come from anybody. Now it just so happens to be coming from Alvis Bunderkin, the demoralized Gnomish shoe salesman. It is our duty as Dungeon Masters to reciprocate the engagements that our PCs initiate, and not only to accept it as an opportunity to add to the story, but to provide all non-player characters with unique personalities for the sake of adding vibrant and colorful detail to the fantasy worlds that we've built. In this video, we're going to talk about making your NPCs stand out using a really easy improv trick that you can start implementing as soon as you're done watching it. I'm Richard Darshwood with Initiative Roles, and this is Instant NPC Leading with Your Body. Here we go. So, what does it mean when I say leading with your body? Super simple answer is this. Whenever you need to come up with a character on the fly for your PCs to interact with, all you have to do is choose a random body part and emphasize it. It sounds weird when I say it like that, but this is something we use in Improv 101 classes all the time. When you lead with a certain body part, you end up emphasizing a particular personality trait that's connected to it. Each body part has relative characteristics that come forward when you accentuate it. For this video, we're going to highlight 3 major body parts, and then at the end I'm going to drop in some brief bonus tips for more. We'll start with the head. Making movements and motions with their head is the type of person who's not quick to act, but instead takes their time to reason first. A real thinker. Someone who might have a tendency to be rather suspicious. Where do you think you're going? Curious or nosy? What's that dazzling trinket you got round your neck there? Or someone who might always agree, but has an ulterior motive. Yes, we can get you access to the arcane library. For a price. Lead with your head and you will immediately be introducing a brand new character into your game who represents these kind of traits. And you don't even have to put that much thought into it. It can be completely random, but it's a great way to add depth to an NPC with zero advanced preparation. Now, let's think about our chest. Somebody who puffs out their chest and pushes it forward could be a natural-born leader. A person who's used to taking charge and often wants to make themselves seem bigger and more important than they really are. Perfectly appropriate for that very confident military soldier. Halt right there, travelers. Or the arrogant noble. What a dreadful place. You can't be serious in proposing that we take up accommodations at an inn like this. Maybe some dwarven tough guy that your party member accidentally bumps into at the tavern. Alright, look here, mate. You spilled ale all over me tunic. You're gonna pay for this. A character that puffs up his chest has probably got something to prove. The fun part about this is that it gives you a tool to take your NPC creation far outside of the normal tropes. What about a cocky teenage squire who we all know would drop to a single unarmed strike from your barbarian? But because you just randomly decided that he leads with his chest, this pipsqueak acts like a frickin' bully and makes a rather interesting conflict for your PCs to deal with. Using this tip to generate compelling characters with unique personality traits is a phenomenal way to devise unexpected twists and turns to your story that your players are going to absolutely love. Lastly, we're going to talk about our hands. There is so much versatility in a character that leads with their hands. Because there's so many different ways you can be using your hands. You can drop into a character and naturally start wringing your hands, and might cause you to become a bit conniving. This is the perfect plan to enact vengeance upon my adversaries. Or maybe just act like somebody who's busy at work or consumed with a certain activity. Yeah, I seen you asking questions around town. What kind of information you looking for anyways? Sometimes when I start talking with my hands, it inspires me to create a character who's rather flamboyant, darling, or represent a particular ethnicity. Hey, what are you talking about? There is an endless supply of character traits you can pull from just by using your hands in different ways. If you have some interesting ideas about characters who you've created by emphasizing certain body parts, tell us about them in the comments. I would love to see what you guys are coming up with. Otherwise, that's the idea of generating NPCs on the fly using body parts. You can use this tip for literally any unexpected social encounter, and it doesn't have to be limited to these 3 body parts. Who knows, maybe you end up with a jailer who leads with his feet, who very cautiously rounds every single corner, tipping his toes, dipping them into the proverbial water with every single step. Or maybe a priestess who extends her smile to every single person she meets. Get totally random with it, but be sure you're having fun. Just because you're the DM doesn't mean you don't get to have fun playing characters too. Try this out a few times for yourself, and I promise that after a while, it'll start to feel natural to you. And if you're looking for a place to practice or try out other role-playing ideas, just remember that we host improv classes every single week for dungeon masters and players like yourself to get together in a judgment-free zone, to collaborate and experiment. Sometimes we focus on character creation. Other times we discuss ways to create more dynamic narrative style and storytelling. But most importantly, you get to chat with people just like you, who want to tweak their approach to role-playing for a more fun and engaging experience. You can find a list of our scheduled events by going to initiativeroles.com or clicking the link in the description. And if you found this video helpful and want to get notified when we post things in the future, you should subscribe to our channel and ring the bell for notifications. That way you know when we add more content. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and remember, no matter how much time you plan and how much time you prepare, adventure grows wild from the roots of spontaneity. I'm Richard Darshwood from Initiative Roles, and I hope to see you around.